Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US stocks for Tuesday the 14th. So on Tuesday we've been doing Apple, Facebook and Amazon, and I just wanted to start with Alphabet, which we talked about yesterday, and we're looking for a top here, and we're counting 5 waves up this last leg here that now appears to be completed. So we're pretty much, this is a big stock, so most of the other stocks are going to be kind of the same as this. So we're looking now for wave 1 being in play here, and looking for wave 2 to play out here. Of course, we need more evidence for this, but it does appear that this move down through here is impulsive. So 5 waves. All that can tell us really is that if we get 5 waves in the first leg, then we're going to get a correction. We're going to get another 5. So that's all that it tells us. Will we get another 5 after that? I don't know. But because we get 5 here, it tells me that we'll get 5 here. So if we get 5 here in the larger pattern here, then it's likely that we're looking at this particular pattern here, and then we'll have an ABC after this. And because we got 5 here, that means we'll get another 5 over here for this. So in terms of trading opportunity for these markets, we can look at these 5. We'll do this on Apple, of course. We'll look at these 5 waves here, and then a move back after that, and then we can catch the 3rd wave down, or wave C at that point. Now, some of these markets that we've been working to the upside here, I've been working them with wave 1 in top here. And then I've also been working them, as you may know, with wave 1 down here and 2 down here as well for a lot of these stocks. So it does appear in this particular case we have this really nice impulse wave to the upside here for this particular market. So I may bring all the other markets into this particular fold here as well. Okay. This would also line up with the S&P 500 as well, lagging a little bit, but watch the S&P 500 video for that for that move. Okay, let's take a look at Apple first. So as I mentioned, I'd been looking at some of them in terms of wave 1 and 2 down through here, and building up to a wave 3 here and a wave 4 and 5. And it could still be possibly the case, but the other count that I've been working here as well on the 4-hour chart is this one here, much the same as Google for this here. So I think that we'll run with these particular counts, so just sort of bearing that in mind. So the next step here, as we know, when we get a 5-wave move to the upside, then we're looking for a 3-wave counter trend, and yeah, as an ABC particular pattern here, and that may not, but can take us back to the 61.8% retracement level in this space here. So I know it's a long way away and all the rest of it, but that's the 50-60% retracement level there. So a little bit haunting. But as always, we just take one step at a time, and one wave at a time, one level at a time, and so on. So in this move down from the top here, I think it's a good idea that we can look to go short in this. We had actually had long trades in this, so I just better talk about this. We've had long trades in this from down at the 320 area here, and we've had this trade in this trade and this trade. We've been moving the stop up, and the idea was to take profit at the 400. So that's the end of that. So yeah, we're looking at this current top here being wave 3, but I think we're going to put wave 1 there, and I'll just put wave 3 here, and I'll just dull that out as an alternative count for the time being. So this move down through here, this is our sort of catalyst in this thing. So we'll come back to this. So I'm going to go to, I won't go to 100 ticks. I'm going to go to 5 ticks. Don't worry about that count. That's just something else I'm working on. And So this is the move down from the top. So this is on this is on 5 ticks. So I've been thinking about this a little bit. I find it a little bit difficult to work out the count on 100 ticks. So I've decided I better go right back down to 5 ticks, and it just gives me a little bit more definition in the structures. It means that I can actually go in and work them properly, so I can start actually counting them all, and yeah, so it just makes it a little bit easier for me. So I'm sorry if it's too much detail, but you know, as they say, it's all in the details. But anyway, look, wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and you can clearly see 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave. Fourth wave pulling back to the fourth wave of 1 a degree roughly, or 38.2% retracement level. And then we're coming down here for these last 5 waves here. So we may already have the low in through here. Just looks a little bit like that's okay. This one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks a little bit short compared to the other ones. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, because if it moves down a little bit further, that's okay. And like I just mentioned, I can't draw over this side, but I can't draw on this side of the price with the tick chart, but I can draw on this side. So in a nutshell, if I start over here, we know we got wave 1 and 2 up here, and then we've come down for wave 3 here and 4 here, and coming down for wave 5 here. So we're going to have some sort of rally here, right? So this rally gives us a hand for the setup. So first of all, we can go short under here, and secondly, if it's possible, take that low and that low here, and you'll be able to work a trade to the downside there. This is really just for day traders as such. We will look to purchase this stock in our portfolio, which I'm still organizing, but I'm getting there. So we're going to have, out of the 130 stocks that I've got on my list, I'm going to build a portfolio out of those, and also we're going to do, when I say portfolio, there'll be sort of 5 to 10 year cycles on that, but we'll also look for trades within those stocks. So that will give me like 130 stocks to work through, and I'll just be looking for setups and long-term holds in those. I'm just trying to find a portfolio I can put on our website. So I think I found one. So just give me a bit more time with that, but I'm really going to get into the US stocks because I want to invest in them myself, and just tag along and check out what I do. So look, we can go short after these 5 waves here. We're going to see some sort of corrective rally. Probably not a good idea to expect it to come back to the 50-60% retracement level, even though it can. What's more important is looking for this ABC pattern here. This is just the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, so that's a really good place for it to come back. So the 390 is a nice place, and we're just looking for those 3 waves. And those 3 waves here will be, they will be a, let's just put these in here, shall we? Spend a bit of time here, it's okay, because this is what it's going to be like on the other one. So better to do one thing well than to be a jack of all trades and do too many. See, so this is what we'll be looking for here. We'll be looking just for a simple A wave, B wave, put this over here a bit, and C wave coming into this space here. And the A wave will be 5 waves, the B wave will be 3 waves, and the C wave will be 5 waves. There should be some sort of relationship between wave A and wave C here for that. So that's that. So if I come back to, I'm not sure where we were, the 4-hour chart, was it? So as you know, we were looking at a little 5-wave structure in here, so it's going to bounce off support. We're going to see that bounce back up here somewhere to resistance around the 390 area maybe, and then we're going to see this move down. Now it may just be an ABC and then go up from that point. But it's probably more likely that we'll be looking at a third wave coming down, which will be stronger and longer, and then a fourth wave and a fifth wave here. So that will make up wave A at this point. So our target area for the downside here would be around the 350 for the day traders, okay? And then for the wave B here, we'll be looking for, well, an ABC pattern in there. So I can just remove these here. So I'm just making you aware of this one here. So because we got 5 here, that means we'll get 5 over here. It doesn't mean that we'll get all of this, right? So just be mindful of that. But if we do get all of this, then we're going to get the same thing again. Because we got 5 waves in the opposite direction of the trend, we're going to get another 5 waves after a correction here, and we'll get another 5 waves coming down here, and that will bring us into our 50-60% retracement level, maybe in this space here. Because what we also need to be aware of with this is that it's quite natural for the market to arrive at a large number and react. And react it has, and it's reacted in 5 waves, which will bring us down to, you know, as I just mentioned, it will bring us down in terms of equality, it will bring us down to around this level here. Will we get all of this? I'm thinking we will, but I don't know that for sure. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. So we just got to go step by step. By all means, we want to be short under these levels here for, you know, for trading purposes. And we've already just talked about that, getting in, you'll get better positions in there for that. So you definitely want to be short. It's just how far we get. So then you've got to decide to yourself, well, you want to, if you're risking 1%, you want to reduce that 1% down to 0.5%. And then you want to get to break even, second step. And then will we get all of this profit? So you might want to take a little bit off the table so you can bring the stop to break even or something. And you just got to keep working it, you know. Every point is valuable. But if we get down to here, then you probably want to be out as a day trader, and then we've got to get through this, which should be simple. It should be a 5-3-5 structure in here as a simple overall zigzag here for this. Okay, well, that's Apple. Let's move along and have a look at the next stock. So we're going to be looking at Facebook and Amazon. Okay, so Amazon here, I've counted it up like this. This is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1. So we've topped out we're looking for top at the 3,300, the top of group 1. And remember, if group 1 had found support here, then the market would have left this number and would have continued to the upside. That's the beauty of group 1, 1, 2 and 3 here, minor group 1 in this case. So support on top of group 1 would have separated the market flow from this larger number here, but it wasn't the case, and it's done its job. It normally finds these levels as resistance and then pulls it back to the main number here. So we can move that over here now for this. Now I also had a count too that could count this up in a different way coming up through here, as I mentioned before, looking at these wave 1s down here, so to speak. So I think that we should look at this just for the sake of it. So in this case here, I kind of like this count too, you know, because we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. And then we've got this strong third wave pushing up here. And then we're looking for the fourth wave to come back as an ABC correction. We just need to be mindful of both sides of the market, that's all. And some things we know and some things we don't, and some things get really tricky and some things get really easy. So in this case, this would just pull back sit on top of the 3000 and probably not penetrate it too much, and then move up for wave 5 here, then wave 4 here as such, and then wave 5 over here for this. So this is also possible as well, and of course we don't want to miss it. I don't have any positions in the US market in the stocks at the moment, but I will as soon as I get my little portfolio thing working. I'll start building in. Nothing sort of big, I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep it at 50k or something, I don't know, but maybe even 10 or I don't know, we'll see. I just want to build it with anybody else that feels like building a portfolio over time, longer term. So just basically just keep building into it with any spare money that we have. So in this case here, I'm looking for, well, we got this top here, so that top becomes a trigger at that point, but that also means too that this here becomes the trigger, that second high here for this. So we just want to be mindful of that second high here, even though that will probably be, I mean, this is one of the strongest stocks, of course. So, to short, we're better off shorting weaker stocks, aren't we? I mean, the whole banking sector and the real estate sector, they're the ones that you want to be hammering, because they're all just like being held, they're just being held up like clothes with pegs on a clothesline, really, and if these bigger stocks are releasing the pegs, well, then the other stuff is just going to drop on the ground. So, shorting the most powerful stocks is not really the way to go. With that said, let's just take a look at this top here on the tick chart. And once again, I'm just going to the 5 tick here. So I don't have any labeling on this, but let's just put a little bit on, shall we? Oh, I should become a magician. So with this one here, I'll just label it the same here, so we can see we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, an extension in 5 for this one here. We can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this, and for this here, 4 here, pulling back to there, and then this one here is not not done yet. So that looks impulsive to the upside there. I suppose we could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, couldn't we? Yeah. Why don't we check? Oh, I can't see it. I'm not sure now. I don't know if we've got 5 here or we've got this. That will go over to here. Not that it's a big deal, because when this lands, and this will be at 3000 here, so that's there. Then we've got minor levels here, so 100, 200 and 300. And this is a major level here, so we can just make that nice and colourful. Always put major levels in orange. I think colour coding helps a little bit. So yeah, the same thing here again, the A, the B and the C wave coming here. Let's just assume that this makes it down to here for the moment, and that would leave us back up. If that was the case, that would leave us back up in this space here. And we always gravitate over the closest largest number. So it can come back to this number here, and if it found support on this number here, then it would be bullish at that point because it's above the 61.8%. But it's very clear that there's a very nice 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here or to here with this. So just let all this go here for the time being. Just allow it to come down. If you're not short already, allow it to come down and have that bounce back up. And then we have to go, if we get 5 here, that means we're going to get another 5 over here. So that wave 4 situation is not really going to cut it as such. It may do. Let's just check this out again over here. So this move down here may make it to the 3000, it may not, and then it can come back to the 3.2 here, and then it could come through here. So if the 3000 becomes the retested resistance, then we'll see the market come down further at that point. So we can clear this up here. This is the one, this is the likelihood, this one here. So that means we're going to get this down here in 5 waves. We're going to get a bounce back up into the 2 there, and then we're going to get another 5 down here. That would be logical at that point. What it can do at this point is also go down deeper in here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th wave here, and then an A and a B and a C wave up here for the B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Where's that 61.8% here for this? So down here somewhere to here. So that brings us into this space here. So this is what could happen here. We just need to go step by step with all of this. So it is possible to come down to the 2,500, which is a medium level. It's also possible that I mean, the 2,800 is the next level. That's the level between these two here. And there's also group 2 in here. So this is 80. So there'll be 65, 2,650 and 2,720 that make up group 2 there. So I'll leave it at that. I mean, I think in the bigger picture what this does, if it all pans out nicely, it gives us the buying opportunity somewhere in this space to look for the next move up here. The other thing that we need to be a little bit mindful of here is that in terms of the classic trading levels pattern, it never really had it arrived here, but it never reacted here for this. So typically what we find is that like this is the most common pattern where we have the arrival at the level and then the reaction and then this one. So that's one of them. This is the variation of that where it doesn't come back below here. But the overshoot pattern here is this one here where it doesn't really stop here and just continues to go to the upside. So when it does that, the distance above here is normally the distance below here that it will take on here. So that will bring us back down to the 2,800. So we'll keep an eye on this. And the setup will come back on the level back over here in due course. And what this level does across here, the group 1 holds it here, group 2 holds it down here, and then this becomes the balance line through here. So if we're patient enough, we'll see the setup come in over this side. That's if the market's going to continue up from that point. Okay, so we'll just we need to look at that. So this here as down for 5, back here and down for 5 onto the 2.8 here. And this is where, if it was going to continue, we need to look at everything here. If it was going to continue, then we would see something across this level here, and then we would be looking to move in. So we can move long in over here for that. I just wanted to point that out, that's all. Okay, so we're going to have a look at Facebook next. Okay, with Facebook here, as you may know, we've been tracking 2 counts. One of them is the wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1, and then we'd be looking for and A, B, C back here for wave 2, and then up from that point. So the other one is that we've been tracking wave 1 here. That would leave us with a wave 3 up here. So I think this is the right one, but we've been tracking both of them, so we'll just stay with it, you know. So this one here is wave 1 here and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fits nicely, an A and a B and a C for wave 4, pulling back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then up for wave 5 here. Now, could this here be, so we'll just put these in play here. Just bear with me a bit, and we'll pretty much just look at this the same as the other ones to a point. But the other thing here we just need to be mindful of here is from this low here to this high here. Like I said, I've got to look at everything that I can see anyway, and then I need to talk about it a bit. So is it possible that, just to chuck a spanner in the works, is this up here for 1 and back for 2 here? So yes, it is. This is wave 4 here, so this will go down here to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here. And wave 2, of course, would bring us back lower. So if we looked at all of this as wave 1 to the upside here, then we would look at that low and that high here, and then we would be back at this point here. So this is just analysis. These are the things that could happen from if you got your analysis cap on, you know. And just grab that there, copy that, put that in there so we know what that is. So yeah, look there, that's the analysis hat. So then you've got to put your trading hat on. So in terms of the trading hat on, we know, well, there's a couple of things that can happen here. This 5 waves finish, so it could come back to this level here. That's one. Secondly, it could come back to the 200 roughly, or the 210, or up to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree as a wave 4, or it can come back as wave 2 here, as a zigzag pattern here, as 5 waves down here and here and here. So that we know, at least we know that it's to the downside. That's good in that case. We also know by looking at the other stocks that this one here is coming down for 5 waves here, and then it's going to have some little rally here for that, and then we can go short across here. You can go short across here. You could even short it right here too if you wanted to, on the 61.8%. So let's just go into the tick chart and check that out here. We'll need a few days in here. This is 5 ticks as well, by the way, so I'm going to be working with that because I can see what I'm doing. Otherwise I just can't see it on the 100 that clearly anyway. 2 days should do it. Right, so that's the top. So okay, I suppose we should label it, shouldn't we? You might not. We'll just label it with these though, just because it's just simple. So, okay, so let's just start with that, and that will give us 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, third wave, fourth wave. Well, this one's got further to go down. This is interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. This might cascade down, this one. Let me just go back over it in case I've missed it. This one's slightly different. I mean, I see we've got 5 waves here. I've got the corrective move here. I can see we've got 5 waves to here. So 1 and 2 here. Then we've got 5 waves in this little section here. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's right. So we've got 1, 2, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third wave, fourth wave here. So this is slightly different, and this is not finished here either. So we've got 1 here, 2 here. I'll just take all that as the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave. So in this case, we've still got this to play out a little bit further here for this one. Doesn't seem right, but that's what we'll do. So this could bring us down to the 230 area here. That seems like a long way, doesn't it, compared to the other ones? Okay, I think we'll have to work with 240 and 238 and 235 here. So I'm just checking the other side to this. No, that's all good. I'm just wondering if that was a truncated fifth wave, because it just throws another wave into the mix. Four and five. So another little dance across the this one here. Wave one was really short here, so we'll go somewhere in here for this. But the same thing occurs as well. You don't have to worry about anything. Just allow this to finish off lower here, and then wait for the bounce here. So if we go back to wherever we were, say the 4-hour chart. Maybe even, we got something on the 1-hour chart. Okay, we don't need this, that's cool. We can work with this a bit better here. We'll pop those in there. We know that can also be wave one, and probably is wave one. But so 230 miles, 2 ways, too far out. So it's going to be around the 40 here. So in this case here, we know that we're looking for wave one. It's going to come down here somewhere. And then we're going to get some sort of retracement. So you have to wait for the rally here. I've probably animated it too large here, but once that low comes in here, and you won't know the low's in there until you see the rally, you know. And then when you see the rally, you're thinking, how, you know, can I do a better job? And you can go through like that to get a better job here. But that will only get you down to here somewhere. And then also you always need to be mindful of the 50-60% retracement level of the previous structure, because there will be, once you're aware of it, then you can accommodate it in your virtue of patience, because you'll need it to get through that. So that's where the sticking point's going to be there. And it will probably be, if we're going down further, if I can just extend that down here a little bit further, that will probably be the low of the third wave, and the fourth wave will be in here being all ugly and everything, and then the fifth wave coming down, something like that. And then we'll have the ABC coming back up, if that's going to be the case. And then we can come down from this point. So first of all, because we get 5 waves here, we know we'll get 5 waves here. We don't know anything more than that. It could just come up from that point. So that's what you need to be mindful about. So a nice place to take profit here, and then just allow that to come down. Once we got 5 waves here in this sequence, then you know that you're going to get some sort of ABC pattern here, and then we can look to go short again on that side of it. So I'll leave it at that. That's quite a long video actually. Sorry about that. Cheers.